Hey, so this is Practical Paganism class series, and we are talking about candles and spell making. And this is with Tish Oven. And what you doing, Tish?
Well, I am using a little cheese shredder. You know, kitchen witches. So it's a little cheese shredder, and you want to have little blocks. Now you can find sometimes, if you're lucky, you can find dye. It's got to be for candles. It can't be for anything else. Nothing else will work. So sometimes you can find little chips like this. Okay.
And then, hold on for this.
Little chips like that, and they're great, but they take a long time to melt because they're really hard. So it's faster to get your color if you shred it and then dump it in. And then when you get to the end of your, don't watch your fingers because cheese shredders hurt. Then you can take and break it up into smaller bits so that it will, hello, my husband's calling, that's hilarious. Hey, Corvin. I can't talk to you, sweetheart. Will you please text or call my husband and tell him that I'm in the middle of class? Call me. So what I have is a crappy old table that's got seen a lot of candles. So what I would say to you is wax paper, plain old wax paper, lay it down on whatever countertop because you're going to make a mess. You cannot not make a mess if you're making candles. You just can't do it.
Parchment paper?
Parchment paper is fine. Wax paper is fine. Aluminum foil works too. Something that you can just wrap it up and throw it all away when you get done. Now, this started out, I had some red in it. We're having to add blue. Now, this is soy tonight, so we're using soy. And you have soy wax, and it looks like this. Dun, dun, dun. And it feels real waxy. So, there you go. It feels really waxy. And you've got to start, we've had this on probably about an hour now, right? We're just starting to get melted. For soy, you want to have a candy thermometer, which we do not have, so we're going to second guess ourselves. But a candy thermometer, and it will show you the temperature, and you want it to come up to about 150 to 160 degrees before you pour it in your holders. Now, with soy, you've got to have a holder because it's a soft wax. You can't just pour votives, and it will not stand on its own. It will just kind of melt in a little puddle. It's very adorable, but you don't like it. So, now you can have, now, this is, I've got some chunks of beeswax. If you put as much as 10% of beeswax in a candle, you can call it a beeswax candle. Beeswax by itself does not have a good melt. It just doesn't. It does kind of blobby, and it's a pain in the ass to deal with. So I don't recommend it. Now, you can also do paraffin. However, it is not ecologically good for you. Soy is. It's renewable. It's great. They make it all the time. They feed it to pigs, and they make wax out of it, all kinds of other stuff. I also really like palm oil. Palm oil, do I have a candle with palm oil? Palm oil takes a nice form. It's great for votives, and you can put it in these. This is a little votive cup. Anything that's paraffin or palm oil you can use for this. Now, you have to have a wax holder so that it will have a hole up the middle of your candle so you can put your wick up, right? Now, they come in different sizes. You can make, go to 8 big ones. That's about 1.5 pounds of wax in that one. And one of these, which is my preferred size because it's kind of easy to handle. That's about 3/4 pound of wax. So it takes a lot of wax to make this stuff. So, and you have to be patient because it takes a while. You can't hurry it up. And you just stir the electric cauldron. So I use, this is just a plain old crock pot. Can we see the crock pot?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a plain old crock pot. You turn on high. Here's the thing. I have done where you put your wax in one of these and you put in a pot of water. Here's the problem. You might forget about it and the water will burn out and then you'll just have wax and then it will blow up and it will catch fire and you'll all die. So don't do that. That's why this is better, more preferable to me. And you can put any kind of wax in this and just stir it till it melts. It helps to stir it. It's just like making stew. Helps to stir it. Now, this is not very blue. And I want blue because tonight we're making psychic opening, third eye. So, we're going to do some more of this. And with all of it, different waxes, the paraffin, soy, and palm oil, you have to gauge it. They all take a little bit more or a little bit less for color and for scent. So this is like, it really is like making stew. You just do it till you're happy with it. And so we're going to do a bunch more of this. So I've now put about 1.5 blocks of blue. My fingers are blue. In our pot. I started out with some red. And I put in blue so we have purple. When we get done, that is the goal here, is to have purple. And you just have to, now if you throw in big chunks like this, as it melts and you think it's all melted and it's not, and then you have a weird kind of ribbon of color through it, you don't want that. You want it to be uniform. That's your goal, is to make it uniform. So these are going to be pretty dark, I do believe, when we get done. So now, don't be afraid of your color. Just keep on putting in more till you like it, till you're happy with it. And the beauty of it is, if you can remember your biology from the sophomore year in high school, it's the colors. So we're mixing red and blue to get purple. I've got purple, but it's too light, I think.
Or your art color wheel.
Your art color wheel, yeah. Well, I never took art, so I can only draw stick men, so I draw like a 5-year-old. A not very smart 5-year-old. So it's almost melted, and you can see if you pour it down the side, it's still not the color I want it to be. That's the beauty of it. You just keep on working it till you get what you want. And what I want is purple. Now, soy wax melts pretty fast. When you melt and then you have some left over in your pot, the next time when you go to melt it, it melts so much quicker. But this process is long. You cannot get anxious. And when you put more in, just sprinkle it instead of making a big glob. Globs are not preferable. So the more of this you put in, the lighter it's going to be. And because this is for psychic development, we're going to put oils in, and we're going to put dragon's blood, because dragon's blood bumps anything you do. Makes it bigger, makes it stronger, makes it more robust. And we're going to put cherry cobbler, because I like it. And it makes you, anything that makes you go, so you relax. And cherry cobbler is nice. And lavender, because lavender is relaxing. Because you want to relax, you want to open up that third eye. So you make these to meditate with. Open up that third eye. And what you're going to find, as you do with colors, is it's going to take more, or it's just going to take more. You just keep putting more wax. I don't want this to be a weird gray color. I want it to be blue. Well, I want it to be purple. So, but you want to bust up the little chunks, because it will kind of try and get to be together. You don't want that, because it melts faster if it's all like dispersed and diffused throughout your mixture. Now, because it is soy that we're using, I've got about 1/2 crock pot now of wax. And I'm going to put some more blue in, because I'm not happy. So, just keep shredding. Try to shred your fingers. And it makes like a nice little pile. Just that little bit that I've done, it makes a nice little pile. And you just want to dump it in. I tried to get up your nose. So we're going to let that cook. We'll decide when that gets good and melted if it's the color that we desire. Because if it's not, you just play with it. Because this is what you're making for you to make you happy, right? So, see how it clumps? It clumps up, so you have to break those up. Because the more you break them up, the faster it will melt. I recommend highly, I didn't do it. Do as I say, not as I do. I highly suggest you put on an apron. So, this is my Don't Make Me Poison You that I got in New Orleans, because I thought it was hilarious. But the problem with getting wax, any of the waxes in your clothes, you can't get it out. You can't wash it and get it out. You have to take an iron and paper towels and iron it, and the wax will absorb up into the paper towels and you'll get out of your clothes. But I have ruined a lot of clothes. So this is preferable. Isn't it cute? All right. So you also want to be careful of yourself, of your hands. Probably should be wearing glasses, but I'm not. So as that's melting, I think we'll make about a half a pot. The more you do it, the more you'll get a feel for how much you're making and how many vessels you'll fill. Now, we're going to use these are glass, and because it is soy and it will burn down in there, you don't need a mold releaser. Now, if you're going to do any other wax and you're going to put it in one of these or one of these, you want to spray the inside of the candle mold with this, and it's mold release. It allows you to get it out, because I'm telling you, sometimes you can get in there. Mold release spray, 8 ounces. I buy my stuff from, who are these people? Bitter Creek. Bitter Creek, you don't have to have a wholesale license. You can just buy. They have the best prices. You can't always find everything you want from them, but they have just about everything you want. Now, because we're doing this, and we have our little wicks. So wicks come about this length, which is way too tall. You want a wick that will just come above, about an inch or so above your mold. Now, to get it to sit down in there, we have these dandy little things. I don't even know what to call them. But they're little round tabs like this, and they're sticky on both sides. So you peel it off. And if you really know what the hell you're doing, which apparently I don't, you want to put it right in the middle of your candle holder. Because it will burn better if it's right in the middle. That's where you want it. You're gonna have to fight with it because they like to be just aggravating. Get in there. Do what I want you to do. There you go. Because I'm Virgo, it has to be exactly in the middle. Because otherwise it'll make me unhappy. Now, because you have short wicks, you don't have to worry about propping them up. I need some more purple. So when you get your wicks in there this long, because I also don't throw anything away, I cut the wicks in half, and I buy these little tabs. You can buy these. They're little tabs that you put in here, and you squeeze it with one of these. Be careful, don't hurt yourself. But you squeeze a little tab so that it's in here really good. And you put it down in there. And you do this. Make sure it's in there really good. Okay, so when you buy the wicks and you cut them in half and you're like, well, I don't want to throw that away. Then you put it in the tab, you squeeze it, and then you have a perfect wick for these guys. So Let's try something else. I want to try something different. This comes like there's like 5,000 of these on a roll. And because they're short, you don't have to have a placeholder. If you're doing the big ones like this, you need, I love long matchsticks. You put it in here, and you wrap the very end of the wick around it so it stays upright until it dries. But tonight, for our purposes, we don't have to do that. Oh, that's so much smarter. I'm so glad I got smart. Okay. Make sure and push it down so it's good and stuck. Because if it's not and you pour the wax in, it will float and then you undone yourself. It's a long process. I would have been here earlier and done more and had more done ahead of time, but I've been ripping up a floor at a friend's house because her bathtub overflowed and ruined her floor, which was great fun. Really enjoyed that. So everything is taking a little longer tonight because I wasn't here to do stuff. Dead up in the middle. Now, the other reason it's dead up in the middle, besides it will be aesthetically pleasing to you, is it will also be, you almost are too short. It'll burn better. That's the reason for the little silver tags. So if you go to buy candles at like Dollar Tree or somewhere, and they don't have a little silver tip at the bottom, they're cheap, crappy candles, because this will make your candle burn longer. And you want a good, out of a votive, you want a good 15-hour burn. And that will help. The little metal tabs will help that to happen. And you'll be a happier girl or boy. Okay, it's getting a little purple. I'm not happy with that color. So I'm gonna do some more. I hope y'all are patient. So this one, got a lilac too. I wonder if that'll help. So for your candle thermometer, go and get a candy thermometer. You can buy them probably everywhere. Kroger's, Walgreens, definitely at Michael's. And you can put it in the wax, hold it, temperature will come up to you, how much temperature you got. So if you're using paraffin, or if you're using my husband again. Somebody please call my husband. Check on the internet. Google is your friend. So Google the temperature, not the melting point, the pour temperature, which is, for most of them, it's around 150 or so. You don't want to go much higher. You don't want to go over 200. Okay, that's too high. It's too much. So you want to have about 150 to 170 on all of them. But check and see the different temperatures that you want. What happens if I push that and answer it?
You stop the live.
I stopped the live. Okay, that's what I was afraid of.
Or the teams or whatever.
Apparently,
Is there a fourth phone in this room that we can, somebody can text
it's not
him?
on camera.
What Tish is mixing is not on the...
Yeah, it's out of
It's out of range.
of the camera.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Oh, is someone in Teams saying that?
Maeve,
Oh, okay.
Maeve is
They've done-
messaging me.
Ask if Maeve can see it now. I can see my hand.
Let's say hi to Maeve.
Hi, Maeve. So I'm trying to get all the little clumps of wax melted. Now, don't get this on you. Don't stick your hand in it. Try to splash it on yourself. It's hot. 150 degrees is hot, okay? If you were outside today, it was 100 degrees. Think how hot it was. And then think about getting that on your skin because you won't like it. Corbin, did you text my husband? He's there, but he's not answering.
No, but I sent him a message on Facebook Messenger.
Can you text him? Do you have his phone number?
I don't have his number.
Oh, there you are.